Morning all.
Morning all.
Morning.
Everyone.
Morning. Morning.
Have you noticed Brian's always eating?
It's junk food. I'm addicted.
Should be ashamed of himself.
I burn it off.
Can't understand these people who are always eating.
Especially biscuits.
Yeah.
Especially.
No, I'm on a diet.
Irene, you need to lower your screen a bit.
Lower what?
Your
Can I just
screen's too
say,
high.
John's on a
Yes.
strict diet, so he's not got to be tempted if he goes out.
Right.
No.
you need-
Because his
Is it-
willpower is very poor.
Is it a seafood diet?
Yeah, exactly.
I'll take any
Dave.
food off him.
Just done
You
that.
can only see your eyes, Dave, on top of your head.
That's better.
That's better.
Yeah.
No, lower it again, lower it again. Very quiet, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah. Not a lot to shout about.
No.
What do you mean? We won.
The mighty blades are on the march again.
I wish.
Only win your last 5 games or something.
It was dreadful.
We were dreadful in second half.
How Brighton didn't get 5, I don't know.
I thought I'd turned on the Alamo with John Wayne at one stage. But there you go. That's how the cookie crumbles when it doesn't matter.
Must admit, Chris, that our goalkeeper's improving a bit. I know you don't
Stands,
like it.
stands need to.
He's had enough practice.
Cheers.
Got serious back problem.
So what I said about not being able to hit a cow's backside with a banjo, well,
Yeah.
our lads are still at it, aren't they?
I did see that, John. Yeah.
Yeah. In last 3 games, I think they've had 57 shots and scored 3 goals.
We haven't had 57 shots all season, John.
Unless you count the warm up.
Do I gather that you're talking about the sadness of Sheffield Wednesday?
We are, yes. Even Coventry lost this week, didn't they?
Yes, I know, yeah.
Yeah,
But
but you're
I
out
think
of it.
one step too many. We were exhausted, I think, after a week of all that heavy.
Yeah.
But
But you've done enough, haven't you?
sorry.
You've certainly done enough.
Yes, we
West
really
Gate.
have. I didn't
Yeah.
think we'd get there so early, but you know, if we'd lost at Rotherham a week before, we'd have been in the relegation zone, and 6 days later we were 12 points clear of the
Yeah,
relegation.
it's incredible.
Incredible.
Yeah. But it's going to be a tight finish.
Pick
I
a
suppose-
bit
Well,
honest,
it's
John.
it's
I
the
think-
hope that kills you, isn't it? It's the
Yeah.
hope that kills you.
I think
Yeah. At Brentford tonight with any luck, though.
Yeah.
come on, you Millers.
Hey, you'll start.
You nasty piece of work.
It is yours.
Hang on.
Jenny's a Rotherham fan, so she's dancing
Yeah,
at Heiny
that's
board at the moment.
Fair enough. I can understand
Even
that
Keith's
one.
eating now.
Yeah, but I have got an excuse for wanting to support the Millers, haven't I?
Yeah, you've got brain damage.
No.
Oh, dear.
Come on, you know.
Oh,
My nephew,
yeah,
Right.
yeah,
assistant manager.
yeah.
So, come on, the mighty.
Don't make him a completely bad person, but being related to you as well. Yeah.
He's a Wednesdayite.
Oh, my Lord.
Well, so we've got an inside agent then.
Yeah, you just lost a lot of sympathy there, Keith.
I did my best to bring him up properly, but his dad. won.
I've got a son who's a Wednesdayite.
I think
Handsome, intelligent lad, your lad, Paul.
Yeah.
I'm not so sure.
Why haven't you disowned him?
How do you know I haven't?
Because he likes to see the grandkids.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah,
Yeah.
and he's a Wednesdayite as well.
Oh. Terrible.
Child abuse, that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
In
My
fact,
dad reunited, I.
there he is.
Tremendous. Good looking chap.
Oh dear.
Yeah, can that
He'll
intelligence
work.
beaming from his eyes?
Oh, dear.
Good night, Paul. Yeah.
I regret it.
Anyway,
There we go. Anyway.
Well, we've had United, we've had Rotherham, we've had Wednesday.
You
Yeah.
got
Nobody's
Barnsley.
mentioned Barnsley having made playoffs.
In playoffs.
Bam.
Absolutely brilliant,
Barnsley.
Paul.
They've
Absolutely
done brilliantly.
Yeah.
yeah. Fantastic
Yeah.
performance. Their
Every
manager,
chance.
their manager will be much in demand.
Yeah.
And they're the form
Yeah.
team going into playoffs as well, aren't they?
Mm. Every chance.
Yeah.
Every chance of getting back
Yeah.
up again.
Yeah.
I saw them play at Old Trafford back in the 1990s and they lost 7-0. And it was one of the most one-sided games I've ever seen. It was like a practice match. It could have been in double figures, could the score.
Yeah.
Mm.
Did you watch second half of United against Brighton last week? Because it were incredible. I mean, there were times when Brighton played with the ball and they had 5 players waiting for the cross. And it didn't just happen once. It were happening time and time and time again. How we didn't catch them up break is beyond comprehension. But when you've got Oliver Burke up front,
I was going to say, when you haven't got a forward line, it's a bit difficult, Keith.
yeah. Anyway,
And
let's
crack
have
on.
celebrating probably our final win in the Premiership
Ever.
ever, probably.
Mm.
So, John, have you got any news to tell us of the group?
Well, there's a couple of things. I mean, you might have noticed it was Dave the Beard's birthday yesterday. Happy birthday, Dave.
Thank you.
Yesterday.
Well done.
Sorry, Dave. And I saw him yesterday and didn't wish him happy birthday.
All the best, Dave.
Sing to him now,
Happy
Keith.
birthday.
Yeah.
Try not to
On the
remember
3rd
how
of
many
May,
now.
3rd of May, it's Doug's birthday.
Well done,
Isn't it,
Doug.
Doug? So
Aye.
happy birthday to Doug.
I
Well done,
know.
Doug.
Birthday.
He's Doug's don't have birthdays anymore.
No.
Obviously, old John's birthday is 90 on Saturday. I'm still waiting for Ed's son to give me the keys of the residential home so I can eventually visit him.
Is
And
that Callum?
Dave Redfern and I visited Eric last week and had a good long chat with him, didn't we, Dave?
Yeah, good. Very good.
Yeah.
Well done. Well done.
Yeah.
Why do you have to get permission off Pele?
Off Steve.
No, you said Edson.
Hey dear, sharp as a tack. Anyway, I've done.
Okay.
Nascimento.
Right. So we'll move swiftly on to low news of last week.
It's nice to be back, Keith. I want to know which one of you paid Keith to forget to ask me to read it.
Yeah.
Right, that's it then. Shall we move on to the film?
All of them.
Moving on then. Moving on.
Right. We'll start with cricket again. Now, I've started to talk about Ben Stokes last week being voted into Wisden's Cricketer of the Year. Well, he will be out of action now for up to 12 weeks after an X-ray and a scan showed he will need surgery on a fractured left index finger. He will miss England's home test series against New Zealand starting on the 2nd of June. And he flew
Who
home
did
from
he eat
India.
to break it, Lol?
Fielding, I think, would it
Break
Fielding?
it.
He went for the cat.
He went for the K with Fielding.
Yeah.
He didn't hit anybody.
Broke it on somebody's jaw, probably.
Anyway, he flew home from India just over a week ago,
Well
where he
said.
got injured on the Monday. while fielding against for Rajasthan Royals in their defeat by Punjab Kings, and he had his surgery in Leeds last Monday.
Well, good luck to him there then.
Yeah. What happens to his contract? For is it 1.2 million?
I think if I'd been in India last week, I'd have got injured.
Yeah. Hope he's brought out home with him.
Why did he go into quarantine then?
Thank you.
Beat it.
No, he came back before the rules came in. Yeah.
Keeping with cricket, another England fast bowler, Jofra Archer, he returned to light training a couple of weeks ago after having surgery on his right hand. The 25-year-old had a piece of glass removed from a cut in his hand that he sustained while he was cleaning a fish tank at home in January. He will work with Sussex and England medics to manage his return. No decision has been made yet on whether Archer, who has already missed the Indian Premier League, can return to playing for a while. Now finally on cricket, former Zimbabwe captain Heath Streak has been banned from all cricket for 8 years for corruption offences. The International Cricket Council found that 47-year-old Streak engaged with an Indian man known as Mr. X during his time coaching Zimbabwe and in 2020 leagues across Asia. Streak passed on information on matches and contact details of players, including one national team captain. In return for all this information he was passing on, he received 2 Bitcoins and an iPhone for his wife. Now, just out of interest, does anybody know how much a Bitcoin is worth?
Well, obviously he thought it were worth his wife.
About 50. Bitcoins are worth about £56,000.
Well, yesterday, the Bitcoin was worth 38,407, and today it's worth
Gone down a bit, has it?
338. So it's all linked to the stock market by the looks of it.
Since they got his wife.
Yeah, it was up about 56,000 at one time.
Yeah, it's dropped a bit. Yeah, it's worth having, isn't it?
He'll go to Kaz and get that cut to 2 years.
Is that what you mean by a bit on the side?
Can I?
It's not what I mean by that, Ian, but
go on, Chris. What were you saying?
Just chuck in. I thought that it was newsworthy that Dominic Bess did so well this week, and the more he bowls, he's got to keep you know, and he will get a lot of bowling at Yorkshire. He got 6 wickets, helped them win the game, and that boy is a very good player, but he's got to bowl. You've got to bowl. You've got to bowl all the time. And the other update I give you is Notts did not win.
Yorkshire have won 2 now.
Yeah.
Notts haven't won any. Can I do the cricket update when Notts win a match?
Yep.
Thank you.
We might be out of lockdown altogether.
That's a relief, not having to do anything.
Yeah.
Right, we'll nip on to Rugby League now, folks. Right. Now, Rugby League clubs, the Rugby Football League and Leeds Beckett University are combining for a research project to quantify the sport's head injury risks. The instrumental mouthguard project will use data from the guards, which the majority of players already wear, to assess the impact of collisions. It is intended to cover more than 1,200 players across men's and women's elite competition and academy levels. Different guards will be tested before the project starts in November this year. Another little bit about Rugby League.
Well, the Rugby League season's finished in November, isn't it? It's a summer sport now.
Well, that's when it's starting anyway. Right. Ben Crooks, he scored the fastest try in Super League history as Hull KR edged out a thriller against Huddersfield to gain their first win of the season. Rovers Crooks crossed after 7 seconds on their way to victory by 25-24. Now that reminded me about Sheffield United when they went to Burnley in October 1963, when Ronnie Simpson scored after 8 seconds.
Yes, he did.
8 minutes later, he scored a second, and United went on to win 2-1 and go top of the league that weekend. Were you there, Keith? Or behind the goal?
No, but I remember, I wasn't there, but I remember the game well because we went top of the league. And, and the papers were saying, could Sheffield United win the league for the first time in 65 years?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know about you, Dave Redfern, but these are.
Have we gone back onto United?
It's easy. Smooth movement.
Not even worth talking about.
Yeah. I must admit that were a good United team in those days. Good Wednesday and a good United team.
Yeah. And they were a good Burnley team as well.
Yeah, they were.
That's when football was football.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Right. Go on a bit of tennis now. Now, British #1 Dan Evans claimed the biggest win of his career as he beat world #1 Novak Djokovic, a man he has never played before, to reach the last 8 of the Monte Carlo Masters. Evans, who has struggled on clay in recent times, started superbly against the Serbian, breaking him in his first 2 service games on his way to winning the first set. Djokovic fought back at the start of the second set, but Evans held his nerve to win the match 6-4, 7-5. And this was the first time Evans has ever beaten a player in the top 6, as he inflicted Djokovic with his first defeat this year and only his second defeat on clay in 2 years. Evans followed this up by beating Goffin 2-1 to reach his first Masters Series semi-final, where he met world #5 Stefanos Tsitsipas. However, Tsitsipas proved a step too far, and 30-year-old Evans was outclassed 6-2, 6-1. And Tsitsipas went on to win his first majors title in a one-sided final against Russian Rublev, 6-3, 6-3. And he did not drop one set throughout the competition. A little bit more on tennis. The former British #1 Kyle Edmund is likely to miss several more months of the season after having surgery on his left knee. Edmund, who has not played for 6 months, underwent a minor operation in Switzerland at the end of March. It was performed by the same surgeon who has operated on Federer, Stan Wawrinka and Juan Martin Del Potro. Edmund's problems began in October 2018 when a scan revealed fluid behind his left knee. Bit on rugby union. Now, legendary former Wales and British and Irish Lions captain and coach John Dawes has died at the age of 80. Dawes won the first of his 22 Wales caps in 1964 and was captain 6 times, leading them to the Grand Slam in 1971. He also captained the Lions on the 1971 tour of New Zealand, and that is still the Lions' only series win over the All Blacks. As coach of Wales, Dawes won 4 Five Nations titles, including 2 Grand Slams and 4 Triple Crowns. And he was coach of the 1977 Lions tour to New Zealand. A little bit on athletics. Now, Gateshead will hold the first Diamond League fixture of the season on the 23rd of May because coronavirus restrictions in Morocco are stopping the event from being held in its capital city, Rabat. The meeting is an important build-up event for the rearranged Tokyo Olympics. UK Athletics Chief Joanne Coates said the UK was a lower risk option for athletes because of the success of the vaccine rollout. Where are we now? A little bit on Formula One. Now, Miami will hold its first Grand Prix next year after Formula One secured a 10-year deal for a race in the Florida city. The move is the culmination of years of work by Formula One's owners, Liberty Media, who wanted a race in a United States destination city as they seek to grow the sport. The event will be held on a 3.36-mile track around the Hard Rock Stadium, which is the home of the Miami Dolphins National Football League team. Miami will become the second race in the US, joining the popular United States Grand Prix in Austin, Texas. Now, a little bit on snooker. I'm not going to talk about results or anything, but Ronnie O'Sullivan says he may have up to 10 years to try to match or beat Stephen Hendry's Crucible record of 7 World Championship victories. The reigning champion lost a thrilling second-round match in a deciding 25th frame to Scotland's Anthony McGill, ending his hopes of achieving this feat this season. O'Sullivan has always played down his desire to win a 7th Crucible title, but he said, "It's the one record I haven't got." Now, for those of you...
Hang on, have you watched much of the snooker, anyone?
Yeah.
Yeah, on and off.
Yeah, the games I've watched have been, the quality has been tremendous. You know?
Yeah, but
Well, 100 breaks, 2 at 10 a penny, aren't they? Dead easy to come by now. Very rare at one time. But a little bit on snooker that might... Go on, Keith, what are you saying?
Just saying the pockets seem a bit big, but and they always do when they're going in.
Yeah.
Now, a bit of history for you about snooker. Now, the Crucible Theatre replaced the old Playhouse Theatre in 1971 and was built on the site of the famous sporting pub, the Adelphi, which stood on the corner of Arundel Street and Sycamore Street. The Adelphi hosted many sports-related meetings over the years, and 3 of the most important decisions ever taken at these meetings are as follows. The decision to build Bramall Lane was taken in 1854. The decision to form Yorkshire County Cricket Club, 1863, and to form Sheffield Wednesday Football Club was taken there in 1867. So, a little bit of history.
Interesting.
Yeah, there's a plaque just by the side of the lift on the ground floor. As you go in, the lift's to the right-hand side, and there's a plaque to that effect at the side of the lift.
Right, a little bit more on Formula One. Now, Red Bull's Max Verstappen had his first win of the year in a chaotic, incident-strewn classic race at Imola. Rain at the start led to one of the most topsy-turvy races in recent memory, as the treacherous conditions caught out the vast majority of drivers at one time or another. There was an early safety car and later a red flag after a massive crash between 2 cars containing Bottas and Russell. Starting on pole position, Lewis Hamilton fought back from 8th place at the restart after the red flag to finish 2nd, with Lando Norris coming 3rd. Anybody watch that race?
Yeah.
No wonder they got out alive, didn't it, after that crash?
Yeah.
Not quiet. Bit on horse racing. Now, the British Horse Racing Authority said no races were to go ahead between 2:45 and 4:15 on the day of Prince Philip's funeral as a mark of respect. So the Scottish Grand National, which should have run at 3:35 that afternoon, was put back to the Sunday, where Mighty Thunder produced a late surge to claim a thrilling victory in which the race took place at Ayr. Runner-up Dingo Dollar led with 2 fences to go before Mighty Thunder, ridden by Tom Scudamore and trained by Lucinda Russell, snatched the win. It is the first time a Scottish trainer has won the race for 9 years. And a sad bit on horse riding, amateur jockey 37-year-old Lorna Brooke has died in hospital following a fall at Taunton earlier this month.
Okay.
She was riding orchestrated for her mother, Lady Susan Brooke, when the horse fell at the 3rd fence in a handicap chase on the 8th of April. She was taken to intensive care in Bristol Hospital but sadly passed away when complications set in. Right. That brings us round to football, I think, now. Yep.
Oh dear.
Oh dear. Oh dear. Right. Well, Jose Mourinho, he was sacked by Tottenham after just 17 months in charge, 6 days before they faced Manchester City in the Carabao Cup final. The Portuguese replaced Mauricio Pochettino as Spurs manager in November 2019, and he guided the club to 6th place in the Premier League last season. The Cup was won by Man City for a 4th consecutive year and a 6th time in 8 seasons, where they thrashed Tottenham 1-0. Now, this year's Cup final will be contested by Chelsea and Leicester, who beat Man City and Southampton, respectively, in the previous weekend semi-finals. It is Leicester's first Cup final appearance since 1969. Now, Sheffield United chairman Prince Musard has resigned from his role for personal reasons. He was appointed by his father-in-law and club owner Prince Abdullah in September 2019, where he became the Premier League's youngest chairman, aged 26. Now, both Ollie McBurney with a foot fracture, Billy Sharp having had surgery on a thigh injury, will take no further part this season for the Blades. Another player who could miss the rest of the season is the Owls' Tom Lees, who it was feared had broken his ankle at Middlesbrough, but an X-ray showed it wasn't broken.
Has McBurney taken any part in this season, by the way?
I knew. I was waiting for that. I was waiting for that.
Very little.
He'll be sorely missed by any centre half who has to steel themselves for late challenges, elbows, and heads. So it's a blessing in disguise.
Well, with a bit of luck, Swansea will get promoted. They might buy him back.
Oh,
Taking there in my car. Now, Real Madrid president Florentino Perez says that the 12 clubs that agreed to join a new European Super League have binding contracts and cannot leave. 9 of the 12 teams, including all the Premier Leagues, the 6 Premier Leagues that applied to join, have withdrawn from the proposed tournament last Tuesday after the plan sparked a furious backlash. Real Madrid, Barcelona and Juventus have not yet abandoned the project. And Perez said, "I don't need to explain what a binding contract is, but effectively the clubs cannot leave."
I thought football has got a plethora of binding contracts, but everybody seems to leave at some time, don't they? Players, managers.
Yeah, but don't forget, John, they're in EU, so binding contracts don't count for much.
That's Real Madrid's owner. He's just desperate for money. That's all that's about.
Yeah.
There's not much you can say about it.
Nope.
I do think it's the pot calling the kettle black. I think football authorities are as much to blame for the current state of football.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The Premier League.
Yep.
The Premier League, England Football League and Women's Super League clubs will join in a 4-day boycott of social media platforms in an effort to combat abuse and discrimination. The boycott will start next Friday, 30th of April. The Football Association, as well as league bodies and other organisations, including anti-discrimination charity Kick It Out, will also be involved in this boycott. I don't think he'll ever get rid of it, to be honest. Now, finally, former England striker Alan Shearer and ex-France forward Thierry Henry have become the first players to be inducted into the Premier League Hall of Fame. Shearer is the Premier League's record scorer with 260 goals for Blackburn Rovers, whom he won the title with in 1995, and with Newcastle United. Henry scored a club record 175 Premier League goals in 258 appearances for Arsenal, and he was the league's top scorer in the season, a record 4 times. There endeth the news. So I'll pass you back to Keith.
Thank you, Lol.
Well done, Lol.
Sorry, it was old news.
No, it wasn't all old news. I mean, so what do we think about Wednesday's chances?
Well,
I
there
think
is a
Wednesday can
chance.
stay up.
Yeah.
There is a chance.
I think Wednesday will beat Forest.
It's a slim one.
And Derby's on meltdown, so
Yeah.
I can't think Wednesday will get 6 points to stay up.
The biggest danger to Wednesday is actually Rotherham.
Exactly.
I would say.
Yeah,
It's
you're right.
Rotherham.
You're right, Brian.
But they've burnt themselves out, and they've got some hard games. I think they've got to go to Swansea after Brentford. They've got some hard games.
Thing is, we've got a chance.
Yeah.
But being a pessimistic Wednesdayite, I think something will happen. Like the goalpost will collapse on Windass because he's about to tap it up at line or something like that. Or there'll be a lightning strike. The ball will burst.
I think they've got more chance of stopping up than Rotherham.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can do it. But we've thrown away so many chances in recent weeks. It's painful.
But what amused me, and it happened so many times, is a couple of 3 weeks ago, you read in the press where Wayne Rooney is saying, there's no way we're going to go down. And as soon as I read that, I thought, hello, here we go. How many times have I read this sort of statement before? And from that moment onwards, they've just slid down. And I think, people just never learn. And it serves them right.
I remember when United were in Division 3, Tony Kenworthy came out and said, we're too good to go into Division 4.
Yeah.
I remember when Rock was young.
We had so much fun.
I remember when I was playing cricket at the time and Don Gibbons scored a penalty. No, missed a penalty, which would have kept United up.
Yeah.
I've still got Greening from that night.
They still call it Thank Givens Day in Walsall.
So that's Wednesday's chances. Barnsley's chances are going up.
Very good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It depends who they get in the playoffs, I think, first leg.
Yeah. Chris, you wanted to say something?
No, I didn't want to interrupt the football comments, but I was just going to say regarding sport films, that's all. Just a comment about sports films generally. What's on television? Not a lot, lads. But I've got a brilliant one on Thursday. It's the story of AP McCoy. And even if you're not interested in horse racing, that could be a really good documentary. It's on BBC 4 at 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
And the only other one I can find is The Wrestler, which is back on. The Wrestler is on Sky Drama on Friday at 9:20 p.m. and it's a hell of a ride.
Who's that about?
It's fictitious. It's a story about a wrestler who is at the end of his career, but he can't give it up.
Right.
And so that's it, guys. I'll just throw that in. There aren't many sport films. I've had a look. They're the two best.
I watched a program last week, and I think it might have been on BT, and it was called Hours, something like a football story. Hours, O-U-R-S.
That's the one I told you about, Keith. Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah.
It was fascinating.
Yeah.
And it could signal a massive change in how football is financed. There was a non-league team that had something like, 4 million followers, was it?
Yeah.
And Go on, Paul, you tell.
No, sorry, I was going to say, I think it was it Ebbsfleet United? I'm not sure.
Yeah, Ebbsfleet.
Oh, Ebbsfleet.
Yeah.
About 4 weeks since I watched it, but it was very good.
Yeah, a friend of mine bought some shares in them when they first launched.
Yeah, but they're getting money in now from Facebook or whatever it is that they've got all the followers, and the team is really developing, and other clubs now are looking at the structure to see whether something similar can be done, and if there's billions to be earned on that, you can bet your life one of the big clubs will soon bang
Spoil
into
it.
that.
Mm.
Yeah, spoil
Probably
it.
replace Manchester United in the 12 then.
Yeah. But so that's the only one that I saw last week.
All right. Thank
And
you.
it really was good. So if
Did anybody see the one about Derry City?
Yes.
I haven't seen it yet. I just wondered whether it was worth watching.
Yeah, I've recorded it as well to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely worth watching.
Yeah, it is. I can vouch for that.
Good.
And then
and I watched the Jack Charlton one last week as well.
Yeah,
That's a good one, that.
That's
very
very
good.
Yeah.
And sad.
Bad but good.
Yeah, very sad. Yeah.
Yeah. They need to do one or two other stories, such as the Brian London story or something like that.
Yeah.
I mean,
There's been one on about Anthony Joshua, wasn't it? Sorry, no, Lennox Lewis. Sorry, Lennox Lewis.
Right.
But again, I've
But-
not looked at that.
Does anybody remember Brian London when
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
he
yeah.
used to get hit, and then about 30 seconds later he'd go down.
Yeah, led with his chin.
He never laid a glove on me.
Like his family.
Famous interview, Brian London. He never laid
I
a glove on me.
remember going to Blackpool one day to watch United play away, and Brian London was jogging on the streets as we passed him. I think he lived there.
Like-
Blackpool.
Yeah.
Remember the controversial decisions, and his entire family would get into the ring, and there'd be another fight. You get double your money for those.
Was it Brian London who used to be on 6-5 Special, or was that Freddie Mills?
Freddie Mills.
Freddie Mills.
Yeah.
Freddie Mills.
Yeah.
He was a
Well,
love. Yeah.
he got a dodgy background, hasn't he?
Yeah.
United's got 2 dodgy bikes.
No, background, not bike. So, I mean, they were boxers, I remember, along with Henry Cooper. And the other one, the other punch bag, Richard Dunn. Yeah.
Richard Dunn, yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah, he had a
was the one
sports
that had the
stadium named
underneath
after
of his-
him, though, didn't he?
He
He
did.
did.
Yeah.
Bradford, yeah.
Yes.
Next to Walsall Stadium. Yeah.
Yes.
Wasn't he the one that had the underside of his boxing boots sponsored by the Daily Mirror? Because they knew at some stage the underneath of his boots were going to be shown on TV.
Don't forget John Conte, whose entire family had rooms in Walton Jail.
Conte Suite.
You should know, Ian. You should know.
Why should I know, Lol?
Right, we're less than a minute to go, lads. So go and get a cup of tea, and I'll see you in 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
No food, John. No food.